Next time we're not doing it in a hotel.
Nah, it's don't blame the hotel. You're just nervous, mate. It's fine. I like it. I like the nerves. So,
I think I'm more worried about the Wi-Fi rather than anything else.
yeah, nah, it is a bit. It is a bit shitty. What's your actual phone service like?
Oh, it's worse, mate.
Uh,
One bar of 3G.
really, mate.
Yeah.
Scotland's got to get up with the times.
Oh, tell me about it.
You need to get stuck in. All right. So what's going on, guys? How are we? Sorry, we're just. Sorry, a little bit of a delay there. Kev is stuck in a, well, not stuck. He's in a hotel, and the Wi-Fi is operating at about 4 megabytes per second, which is piss. Anyway, we do digress. We're going to be getting started in the podcast in 2 minutes, guys. So as you're coming in, I want to hear who is in with me and Kev on this podcast. We got Tessa. What's going on, brother? I hope you're good, mate. Jen, how are you, Jen? Lovely to have your company here. Jen comes in because obviously she likes the Scottish boys, right? Where are you actually? Are you actually Scottish?
Me, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know if you were
Yeah,
Scottish or
yeah.
one of the like an English recruit that got hooked up with a Scottish girl and just
Oh,
ended up there.
no, no. No, no, I'm bred and born Scottish.
Very cool. Very cool. I like it. Hello, Jimmy. How are you, legend? Lovely to have your company here today, my man. Zachy Denham's in here, the big dog. What's going on, Zachy? Kenny, what's going on, mate? Lovely to have your company here, Kenneth. Hopefully you and Hazel had a beautiful day. Good morning, Ash. I hope you are well. Morning, both. Who's both? Is that you? Are you both? I don't know. Who knows? I like it though. Nikki Friend, what's going on, legend? Kenny's here as well. Hazel here too. Jackie's here as well. All right, we've got 16 or 17 guys watching across the platforms, which is nice. Hello, Ames. Lovely to have your company here as well this morning, mate. Looking fresh in your new profile photo, by the way. All right, so guys, I'm just going to let you know we're going to be crossing our fingers in this podcast because Kevy's internet, even as he crosses his fingers, goes a bit wobbly and dog shit. I know you guys want to hear from the big man. Hopefully, it's not too bad, and there might be a little bit of a delay in reply. So, if we're ready to get started, we good, mate?
Yeah, we're good.
All right, let's do this. Hey, both. So proud of you for doing this, Kev. That's awesome. All right, let's go, mate. Do you want to count me in on the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome back to the Better Body Academy podcast. This is the podcast that you come to when you're sick of the dumb diets, unsustainable workout programs, and you want to see what a good head looks like. A beautiful, shaven, balding head at 50 years old that is as quick as a Ferrari now. How are you, Kevy? You good, mate?
I'm very well, thanks. Very well, thank you.
That's the way. Good morning,
Thanks
good
for having me.
afternoon, look, and good evening to everyone. It's lovely to have your company here today. As you know, Kevy is one of our star Better Body Academy members. He's just approaching the 4 month mark, yeah, in his transformation, and doing extremely well. So I thought I'd bring him on for a bit of a chat. I'm sure there's a bunch of people that are going to be inspired by this, no less of the crew in Scotland, in your hometown. So for those that don't know you, Kevy, tell the boys, the girls, a little bit about who you are, what you do. So, age. Well, this is like a
I know.
a
It's like
Tinder introduction, right? Tell them a bit about you, mate.
I'm Kev. I'm from East Scotland. 50 years old, married, 3 kids, 1 granddaughter. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Wow. What do you do for work? What takes you away to stay in hotels in the middle of the week?
I'm a sales rep for Diageo. So we do visits to various supermarkets from pretty much the biggest part of Scotland I cover.
Mm.
Go in, check in availability, get some back some extra space,
Mm.
make some money, basically.
Nice. One of my close cousins, my first cousin works in, I think I told you before, he works in the alcohol sales or liquor sales industry, and it's been destructive for his health because he's always meeting with clients, maybe not in shopping centres, but actually at pubs, And he's just like, he's probably put on 50 kilos in the time that he's actually worked there. How does it actually impact your health? Is that part of the reason why you gained the weight in the first place?
No, no, no. We're just meeting managers in stores and supermarkets like Tesco's and Asda's, Morrison's, etc.
Mm,
So there's not actually any of that whining and dining element to it.
mm,
Um, a lot of driving. I do about 1,200 miles a week. Yeah, across Monday to Friday.
mm,
So a lot of driving and a lot of sitting on my backside.
mm,
A lot of McDonald's and Burger Kings over the
mm,
years. A
mm,
lot of partying at the weekends, that sort of stuff. That's
mm.
what's basically happened.
Yeah, I think like instantly the idea of being in the car for long periods of time has goods and bads, right? If you're in the right space like you are now, the good part about it is that you can listen to podcasts like this that actually train your brain. If you're in a
Yeah.
shitty space and you just kind of you're kind of wasting the time and then you're on your butt and then you're junking in the food and the drink and very sedentary lifestyle, there's no wonder the weight goes on. Kev, you recently turned 50. How you feeling?
I did, yeah. Best I've felt in 30 years.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah, I can imagine. So let's
Really
go
good.
back to a time, just over 4 months ago, before you started. Like, what was the position you're in? So just like give us a bit of an idea of where you're at weight wise, and what were the kind of struggles that you had.
Okay, so weight-wise, I was 18 stone,
Mm.
which in your money is 114 kilos.
Okay. Okay. Yep.
So yeah, so I was about that. 18 stone was the heaviest I'd ever been.
Right. Right.
So you getting that okay?
Yeah, I'm getting it. So 114
Yeah.
kilos. How tall are you actually?
5'9".
Okay, so
Something like
basically the same as myself. So for reference, 114 kilos. Kev and I are the same height. He's 10 years older than me, and I weigh 86 kilograms with a fair amount of muscle. So that kind of gives some context. You were basically 30 kilos. 30 kilos, is that right? 30 kilos heavier than I currently was. So look, what impact was that actually having in your life, or was it? Were you consciously aware that it was having an impact?
Yeah, getting a bit of lag there at the moment. The impact that it was having on my life there, just couldn't do anything. Severe depression at not being able to do things. Least little walk, I'd be out of breath. Couldn't do any running or that. I used to do a lot of running a few years ago and enjoyed that.
Mm.
Couldn't cut my toenails. I'd struggle to breathe when I was tying my shoelaces. The things I take for granted that are easy and that. Everything was just a chore, an absolute chore. And I knew something had to be done soon.
Did you?
But it was the fact.
Sorry, can I ask a question? Did you grow up in a
Yeah.
family that carried weight? Like, I'm wondering how that actually come about, or was it more of a product of your work and maybe a bit of partying that you were doing?
Basically, I'd led quite an active life as a child.
Right.
Never overweight. Um, Looked quite good. Did a lot of cycling, a lot of swimming, that sort of stuff. Was always busy. Then late teens, I was into dancing in the clubs, believe it or not. So did a lot of exercise that way. Be going to a nightclub 4 times a week. Wouldn't be getting drunk, but would be doing a lot of dancing and that.
Mm.
Smoking at the time as well.
Mm.
Daughter was born when I was 25, so
Mm.
family sort of restrictions, the outgoing sort of stopped, and the weight started to pile on when I was 25, and it would just creep on and on and on, and then lose a wee bit. It would go back on again,
Mm.
go on, and then I started doing sales reps in 2010, so 12 years ago,
Mm.
and that was when the weight really started going on. Because that was when it was, oh, this is brilliant, this is great, I can have a McDonald's for my lunch,
Mm.
which wasn't just once, it was 2, 3, 4 times a week. At the time, I was working for Duracell and Pringles, which were Procter and Gamble companies,
Mm.
and we were getting free Pringles cans to hand out to managers. So
Mm.
for every Pringles can a manager got, I think I ate maybe 2 cans.
Ah,
So
right. And if you've ever looked at the calories in a Pringles roll, like it is about your entire daily calories in one go.
yeah, yeah.
So to those of you that are kind of listening in live, I'd be really interested in asking the question to the crowd, and please comment in the into the feed. What was it for you? Was there a certain point or a certain catalyst, a thing that caused the weight gain? Now, was it your job? Was it having kids? Was it some change in your life? I'm really interested to know and see if we've got some context around this. And the reason I'm asking this is I feel, Kev, like you mentioned your kids. I feel like I am deep in it at the moment. Like, dude, my daughter is 2. My son has just turned 3 months. And man, like last night, it was an absolute shit fight. And it took all of my awareness to just not fucking just completely bake it and just get fuck. I got up at 5 o'clock ready for the gym. I ended up getting to the gym at around 10 o'clock. Like 5 hours of walking around trying to pacify kids. And I just, and you know what? My missus is doing the majority of the load. And so I can
Yeah.
see how parents get to a point where the weight does start to come on. So for you mentioned kind of the onset of parenthood and obviously becoming a bit complacent. And then Stuart's in the comments saying he got into gaming. Totally understand here.
Yeah, that did.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was a big time gamer. Big time gamer.
Was there a moment that you kind of, a thing that happened? Now, I know the experience, we don't need to go into it and how you met Nikki, Coach Nikki, but was there actually a moment that caused you to go, right, I need to do something here?
I think it was hitting that magic 18 number, the 18
Right,
stone on the scales.
right,
Um, it was progressively getting worse. I
right,
always kind of sat between the 16 to 17 mark
right,
for the past couple of years.
uh-huh,
But this year, the weight just kept piling on.
right,
And when I hit that 18 stone mark, I was like, I need to do something. I really need to do something. I tried Slim and World, I tried Weight Watchers, I
mhm,
tried the blue drops underneath the tongue. I
mm,
tried just about everything and anything that could have went. Pills off of eBay to stop your hunger, to suppress it,
wow.
all this sort of stuff. Over the years,
Mate, what
nothing
was it?
worked.
What was it that you felt about Weight Watchers and Jenny Craig that didn't work? Like, what was lacking in those programs?
Um, the I liked the Slim and World one at the time because it was sort of like a group therapy thing. So you all got together and you talked about the sort of things you had problems
Mhm,
of food and if you had an event coming up, the usual sort of stuff,
mhm,
and that worked when I stopped smoking because
mhm.
we had to do group therapy for that.
Yep.
So I kind of like that. But I touched on this the other week there. It was when she said that you could eat as many bananas as you wanted because they were sin free. And as long as you didn't mash them up on the plate before you ate them. And I'm like, surely my teeth's going to mash them up before I swallow them. You don't expect me to take a whole banana and just
Uh,
gulp it down in one.
oh my god.
So at that point, I knew it was just a load of BS. So it was
So
just
this
like,
was just to clarify, this was the facilitator that was telling you that if you don't
yeah,
match the bananas, they
mm,
are okay to have as many as you want.
yeah,
Oh my
yeah,
god. It's like it reminds me of the clean eating crew that just wants to clean eat their way to fat loss, which actually has nothing to do with it. And then we see them kind of doing the olive oil dance and they're eating 3 avocados at a meal and going, I'm not losing weight, I'm clean eating. And it has nothing to do with it. Right. So
yeah.
dude, so we've talked about like the history to this point. How nervous, I remember our first conversation and you were just about to go away for your 50th birthday and you had some celebrations on that weekend. And I remember saying to you, you said, hey, Jace, you know what? I might start in a couple of weeks because of the fact that I'll have clear air, right? I'll have
Yeah,
space. And I said, you know
that's right.
what, Kev? That's the mistake that so many men and women make all the time. The moment that we think that the best time to start is when we've got clean air, when we've got space, when we don't have any social engagements. Is that real life? To those of you that are watching live, is it just me, or do you have something coming up every weekend till Christmas? of some sort. And so, therefore, what we keep doing is we keep waiting for the perfect time when we don't have anything on. But that's not our real reflection of life. What Kev did, and what I posed to Kev at the start, is Kev, what about if we could give you a system to make this work when you were busy? What about if we could give you a system to make this work when you're on the road and you got appointments coming out your ear holes? Well, then when things clear off a little bit, would you agree that things are going to be a cinch and things are going to be easy? So actually the way that I think about this, Kev, is that our approach needs to be catered to when we're the busiest, not when we're the quietest, because that's the only way it's going to be sustainable. So when you kind of drop the hammer, you were really kind of very, okay, Jace, I trust what you got to say. What gave you faith at that point in time to just go with the process?
I tried everything else before.
Mm.
What I needed to know was I needed somebody to teach me what I needed to know. So I was looking for a PT.
Mm.
It was at the back of my mind. I need a PT. I need somebody to teach me what to do, how to eat, how to lose this weight, how to keep it off.
Yeah.
Teach me what I needed to know, basically. And then, like you say, literally the week later, Coach Nicky turns up in my hot tub at my wife's party, and I took that as a sign. I took that as a sign, and it led me to you. So when you said to me, "We've got a simple here, you just follow the plan," I'm like, and you showed me everybody else that was there, the before photos and the after photos, and I'd seen all the pictures on Coach Nicky's profile. I'd stalked you for about 3 days before you reached out to me.
Yeah.
And everything that I saw, I was just like, this is unbelievable. This is unreal.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Couldn't believe what I was seeing.
That said, Kev, to anyone that's kind of watching or listening to this, I absolutely understand how we can still see all the proof, but still call bullshit. Okay, and the reason that I have that feeling is that when I was working in a full-time role and really just unhappy with my job, and I just was in so much like emotional pain, I need to do my thing, my purpose in life, I want to get out of this, and I saw people doing what I now currently do, I was like, yeah, but what's the catch? Yeah, but they're not really doing that. Yeah, but they're probably just saying that they're doing that, but they've actually got a full-time job before. And I think it's the same for people in weight loss. They see the proof, they see the kind of before and after photos, and they go, oh yeah, but they've probably been photoshopped. Or they see your story,
Exactly.
and they're going to say, yeah, Kev, there's no way that you actually lost that much weight. And I think the last part of it is, yeah, but I bet he puts it back on. And so what we tend to think is that in order to get the results that you've got to do really unrealistic things. Okay? Kev, you are one of the I'm not going to call it the 1%ers, but one of the clients that I call a door A client. What a door A client is someone that you show them the different doors and you say, here's door A, door B, door C, door D. If you can walk in door A, you will get amazing results. If you walk in door D, you will not get any results, but you'll probably blame me for your fucking lack of results, right? You walked in door A and you've just followed the plan imperfectly. Like, it's not as if you've been perfect, right? Because that's not the point.
Yeah.
What was it that you've done? What have been the biggest shifts in your life that have led to the results that you've got? Can you share those?
I think the biggest thing, every single person that welcomed me into the group, into the Facebook group, said to follow the plan. That was it. And
guys, if you're watching, there's 25 people live. Get in the comments and hit us with the hashtag FTFP. Follow the fucking plan. Kev, sorry.
Yeah. Every single person said that, and I looked at it and I thought, well, I'm just going to do what you tell me to do because everything else hasn't worked, And you said to me that if I did everything you told me to do, and it didn't work, you'd give me all my money back.
Yep.
And I thought, well, you can't get better than that.
Yep.
I've got nothing to lose, you know. So that's what I did. I came into the group. I got my accountability going. Started doing my daily posts and everything like that. Um, and I just thought, if I just keep doing this, head down, get stuck in, keep doing this, it will happen, because it's happened to all these other boys that are there,
Mm.
you know.
Mm.
And I just went with it. And then first week went by and dropped a bit of weight, and I was like, oh, right, okay. And then next week, more weight came off, and then
Mm.
it just kept coming off.
Mm.
I did the first 4 weeks at home because I hadn't stepped foot in a gym for 30 years or so, you
Mm.
know,
Mm.
and that was doing at home, to do the exercise at home,
Mm.
because so unfit, so
Mm.
unfit.
Yep.
But I made it into the gym thanks to Tez
Mm.
and his podcast.
Yeah.
Heard that one, and I thought, well, if he can do it on day one, I can do it at week 4. So
Yeah.
went and ended up, and it's just kept coming off.
Let's talk about the let's talk about the what we call non-scale victories. Okay, let's talk about the wins that you feel like you've had, which have nothing to do with the scales. Do you want me to prompt you, or can you rattle some off?
So obviously, all my clothes are like a lot smaller now.
I remember sending you a 2XL sweater that I had left over, and I said, this probably is going to fit for about a week, by the way. Hey, he's got it on. Look at it. It looks like a tent.
Got it
on. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, I got, but my wife, Lindsay, she said to me, she says, why you ordered such a big t-shirt? Because I ordered a 3XL t-shirt, I think it was.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I thought about that, and I thought, well, I can either order one I'm going to fit into, or I can have one for the size that I'm just now.
Yeah.
And then I can always put it on and go, wow, look at the difference, you know? So there was that, and that's what I chose. I'll get another one once the order comes.
Can I interrupt to ask, to all of those of you that have bought merch from Better Body Academy, firstly, we love you. We really mean that. Thank you for repping our brand. And isn't it a good feeling? I think when you've, like, sometimes when you pay for something and it sits in the cupboard, like, you're pissed off. You're really annoyed. But when you pay for a shirt and it costs you, what, 30 or 40 bucks, and you pay for the shirt and you wear it for a couple of weeks and then it no longer fits anymore because it's too big, it'll be the only time in your life where you're almost like happy to waste the money. It's like, how good is it that this shirt is basically a kitchen rag for me now? Or for those of you boys that are, actually, I'm not going to say that. You probably know the direction I was going to go with a bedside shirt. But anyway, we'll leave that. Other non-scale wins, man. Like what else are you feeling? Talk to us about because from day one you really wanted to start running, right? And I thought that was weird.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah. I had quite a lot of medals in that doing running prior to the UK's first lockdown and that.
Yeah.
So I was getting into that. I was getting into park running and everything. I got down to 32 minutes and 1 second, I think it is.
Wow.
And I was quite proud about that, quite chuffed. But before I met you and the rest of the BBA guys, I couldn't run to the end of the street. I'd lost it all. So I was keen to get that back. But then you said to me, but I don't want you to run, Kev. Don't want you to run until you've got all the weight off.
Yeah.
You know, so...
because I think I think people make the error of thinking that the strongest thing you can do training wise is to start running, and of course from a perspective of when you're 20, 30 kilos overweight and you got bad knees, you got bad ankles, you got bad hips, and you're bouncing on that, it's not ever going to go well. So lose the weight first, and then let's see where it ends up, right? Yeah, I like it.
I've started the running again a couple of weeks ago, and I can't believe how quickly I got back down to my 32, 33 minute times.
Wow.
So I'm dead chuffed about that.
Look, that's a thing that I think is good for someone who's coming into a transformation, who has been previously healthy, because it might be a distant memory, but they do have some conscious memory of what's available to them if they get back to it. If you've never kind of been a healthy guy or girl, you probably don't have a real clear vision of what it's going to feel like when that weight comes off, right? But you had a little bit of a vision what it feels like to run untethered, no sore knees, no sore ankles. And dude, Like, super proud of you. Let's fast forward 4 months as we kind of bring this one to a close. Where are you at now? So we started at 114 kegs. Where are you at now?
94.
Wow. What did it feel like to go back under the 100 kilograms when you were tracking inside of our app?
It's just, it's, my mind just can't fathom it.
Yeah.
I see it in the scales. I see it coming off week after week.
Yeah.
I look back in the app. You see it going down in the graph.
Yeah.
Everything like that, and it's just you're right what you say. Your body goes faster than what your mind does.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's I can't complain. I can't grumble. It's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, and I think
just...
one thing that I have warned you about is, and for anyone that is watching and it's inside of Better Body Academy or out, just be mindful that, physical change is a lot easier than mindset change. Okay?
Yeah.
And here's the reason why. Physical change actually, when it comes to kind of body fat loss, it is fairly easy if you follow the plan. If you've got a solid plan and you follow it, we can give you that and you will lose weight factually. However, some part of you is, and Kev felt a few bumps along the way, you feel like, I'm not, this can't be right. Like, this can't be right. And you look inside the mirror, and I can't imagine what it's like for you. And I don't know if you've seen it yet, but I did a TikTok of you yesterday, a reel, and I said, Kev can actually see his penis for the first time in a long time. And it's like, when you look down and you go like, wait a second, like, what happened to my gut? There must really feel like this imposter syndrome kind of kicking in from time to time. And the reason that this takes a long time to overcome is that way of thinking has become ingrained into our nervous system. So losing fat is fairly easy if you've got a plan. Changing your nervous system, changing your brain and rewiring it takes time. And to those of you, people like Zach and Julie, you need to apply for the mastermind when it comes around next time, as should you, Kev, because this is where we actually go to this kind of, how do we make this absolutely permanent? And when you see guys like Trent and Michelle Follett and Nick Friend, Jim Norval, these guys are products. They're so consistent because they've done the mind work and they are still doing the mind work, right? And that's the grand goal. Before I ask you if there's anything else that you kind of want me to ask you, I'll just finally say, like, what gives you confidence that the weight's not going to come back on?
I've got the support of the group behind me. I have accountability. So every day, like I say, I put my posts into the group, and the guys have got my back for me. When something goes wrong, they're there to support me and keep me up and give me hints and tips and keep me going forward. I've listened to practically all your podcasts at least 2 or 3 times.
Wow.
I do about 2 to 5 a day. It doesn't matter if
because you got the time
them before or not. Yeah. I'd rather listen to that and learn something and pick something up than listen to the radio.
Yeah.
In the car when I'm driving.
Look, there's a lesson in like full immersion there, guys, rather than toe dipping. I think that naturally you'll be a bit cautious at the start. But as I said, Kev, Dore, client, as is Julie Crosby, just go all in on yourself. Okay, just go all in on yourself, especially at the start for the first 2 to 4 weeks. You will create some results, which will create some momentum. And once you're in momentum, you're a ship that's moving. It's when we come to a grind that it's hard to get started. One piece of advice that I've got for you, Kev, and anyone listening is we don't need to be perfect through Christmas at all. This festive season is where we hit a few bumps. And I don't care if you put a couple of kilos back on. Who cares? Enjoy yourself, have a good time, but don't stop doing the things that brought you the result. Go and eat as much Christmas cake as you want, right? But
I think just touching on that, I think this is the difference between now and before 4 months ago. Right? Before 4 months ago, then I would have been looking at Christmas and say, for example, for argument's sake, I'd lost a stone between July and Christmas. I would have went out, would have had gone all ham, as you call it, and just ate and stuffed myself. And I probably would have kept going into January, February, maybe like that. The weight would have went all back up.
Yeah.
But with you, I know I can take a day off. I
Mm.
can take a week off. I
Yeah.
can plan for it. You've given me the tools and the understanding and the knowledge of how to cut back the calories the day before
Yeah.
and the day after, get something in the bank, and then it's not so much of a hit.
Dude.
I know now too that if when you're in a calorie deficit
Yes.
and you suddenly take in a massive spike of calories, it's all going on the belly.
Yeah.
You know,
Because your body's
so
programmed for storage, right?
yes,
And you know
that's
what?
right.
You know what pisses me off, Kev, as a concept, cheat meals. Like I hate the idea of cheat meals. I fucking hate
I
it.
get asked that.
And because
I get asked, when's your cheat day?
when's your cheat day?
Cheat day?
Dude, it's not
Yeah.
restrictive enough to need a cheat day, right? If you've got to have a cheat day, this means that it's not sustainable. So what it is if you want to have a week where you relax things up a bit and enjoy some food just to help your long-term compliance, that's fine.
Yep.
That's fine.
Yep.
This is, when we have these cheat days, this is the root of the problem, is that where else do we have a cheat day in our marriage? Hey, babe, I'm just going to fuck off and go and make love to this girl over here. Do you mind? Is that okay? Just so I can make sure that I show up in my marriage? I mean, please. It's not how it works. It needs to be sustainable. We have days where we don't turn up as well as we could in our marriage, and other days that we turn up at our best self. And that's what it's going to be like turning up to the gym. Some days your effort is going to be 10 out of 10, and some days it's going to be a 2 out of 10, but showing up's what matters, right? Kev, to wind up this podcast, is there anything that you kind of like to add, or a question that you would like me to ask you that I didn't?
No, I think it's all good. I just want to take the opportunity to say massive thanks to Coach Nicky for turning up at that hot tub party my wife had.
Yeah, I won't ask what was going on there, mate. It's you, Nicky, in a hot tub. It's and your wife was like,
no, yeah. I wasn't in the hot tub. It was all the girls. That was the girls' night. I went.
You were the pervert looking behind the blinds in the corner. Kev, I love you, mate.
I think that was maybe my son. Want to obviously say thanks to yourself and Trav, Tez, the Brits, Marky Hunter and Kenny Beats.
Yeah.
Kenny keeps me going at Park Run, and there's going to be a wee stomp coming up.
Awesome.
Mark and Kenny and myself.
Awesome.
Big huge thanks to Zach Denman as well. He's given us a lot of help and support. And Nick Friend, legendary.
Look at this. He's written down. He's prepared.
If I can look as good as Nick Friend when I get to that age, I will be absolutely ecstatic.
I tell you what, honestly. you've given Nick Friend 12 more months of extensive motivation to make sure that he keeps moving away from you, bro. Hey guys, this has been a brilliant episode. If you've listened to the whole way through, I think there's some golden nuggets in here. And again, whatever it is that you're doing in life, look, we're not going to be perfect, and that's not the goal. However, I just want to encourage you to go all in on yourself. Dudette, you've got so much to offer the world. And when you're carrying weight and you're feeling crappy about yourself, that's the attitude that you're going to take into your day. If you can start to feel better about yourself, and starting a fitness and health transformation is the ultimate demonstration to yourself of self-love. If you come from a place of self-love, my gosh, you can go out and change your world en masse. So guys, you're getting plenty of applause in the comments, mate. Well done. Good on you for your first podcast, Kev. We're training Kev up to be a coach for the long term, perhaps get him out of the alcohol industry. Guys, this has been the Better Body Academy podcast with my main man, Kev Grant. We will see you in the next episode.